Okay, welcome back everyone. It's time for another Serenum Sokoban programming session. Okay. So last time we got character movement logic working and kind of correct. Today I want to work on the boat movement, since that's like that's a vital part of the game. And so in particular, just to give like an overview of what I want to do today. If I just make a new workspace here in which to launch the game, so you go to the Sokoban and I do the productor and the Sokoban PBE. Currently in our game the character moves, however a big part of this game is going to be moving boats around. The boats are these orange things in the, no boats on the screen, but in particular this thing here, for instance, this kind of square is a boat. So by the end of today I want to be able to press spacebar, the boat will then change color, and then I can press the arrow keys to actually move the boat and the character around the screen. And then this will enable, this is a vital part of the gameplay. So let me quit out of this then, and we can get to programming. Okay. So I think I thought a bit about how to do this. I think the easiest way is going to be to come up with a few different types of like boat tiles. And then pressing spacebar will basically check to see if there's like a boat tile underneath the character, and if so, like find like the largest connected boat, and then we'll then be able to move that. So I think in order to do this, we want to update some of the tiles to begin with. So when we go to our tile enum, we currently have this like boat tile. I want to change this a bit. I want this to be like a boat stationary. Station, or maybe like boat not moving. Yeah, not moving will be easier. Boat not moving tile. And then I want to have the boat moving tile. And so first of all, we'll need to program it so that, you know, pressing spacebar will turn all of the tiles underneath it to the moving. Okay, and while we're at that, we should come up with some different colors for the boat moving tile too. Okay, so in the current, I'm just going to copy these. So in the current way the render works is by switching these tiles with some colors. So I need to update these. So I think we want to say if the boat tile is equal to boat not moving tile, we'll do something. And likewise, when we have a boat moving tile, we'll have this a different color. So currently both of these are being set to boat 1. I do want to change this. Of course, all of the colors and the whole look of the game is going to get a visual overhaul once we've got the more components of the game programmed. But to begin with, we'll just come up with two distinct colors. The question is, where am I putting them? Okay. So currently we have this boat one color here. I might just have like boat colors since this is a really important part of the game. So we want to have like a boat not moving color to begin with, and then a boat moving color. The not moving color will keep the same. However, for the boat moving color, I do want this to be different. Okay, what would be like a way to offset this in some way? We could just make it a lot darker. Yeah, let's try and make this darker by just turning things down. So instead of the red being FF, let's make this BB. Instead of the green being D, we could make it like A. And then I don't know what color this is going to be. Instead of 9C here for the blue, let's make that like 770. We'll see what this is a bit later, but for now, maybe choose a better. For now, we'll work with this. Okay, and then we want to start. Okay, we want to update the switch function first. So yeah, boat not moving color, and then the boat moving color. Okay. Let's just check that this still compiles and I haven't done anything really silly. This looks like the command. Oh yeah, oops. I do need to change that. 169. And yeah, initially when we do the string passing, it should be boat not moving. Try compiling this again. Of course. Ooh, this logic I may need to think about a bit more. 271. For now, it's probably fine at this point just to say boat not moving tile. Like we are going to lock the movement logic so that when you're like controlling the boat, you can't actually move to different squares on it. You need to like unselect it and then the boat will remain in place and then you can move around. So I think just having it be the not moving tile should be fine. But we'll see. Okay. Yeah, if this compiles, I'm not expecting any bizarre behavior. Okay, now let's just check that it's working. Productor, Sokoban. Yep, things seem to be fine. Okay. Great. Let's now start doing the logic for the boat movement. Okay, yeah, so how is this going to work? So I think it will be easiest if we don't actually do any... If we basically like just like modify this game matrix itself. Like we're not going to... some other options would be to like create some... use like an allocator, create some memory to like hold some separate like cache of the boat and move that thing around. I think in terms of a code simplicity point of view, it would just be actually easier to modify the game state directly. Yeah, this means that, and doing so without a way that involves like a bunch of allocators. I think doing so may make things a slightly more conceptually difficult, but I think that there'll be an overall ease in terms of like the simplicity of like the code. That the program will be easier to reason about, even if it requires slightly more lines of code. Okay, so I think in particular, now that we have this boat moving tile, what I want to happen is the following. When spacebar is pressed, we basically like switch the current boat if we're on one to the boat moving, and vice versa. So we'll write a separate procedure for this. But yeah, for the moment we're saying we kind of want to do this line here. When the space key is down, we want to, and it wasn't down last frame, we want to like toggle the boat. And maybe we'll say like toggle boat movement. Okay, so let's now begin to write this. Where should I put this? I'll just put it above noob main. So you want to say procedure toggle boat movement. Okay, and I should write some comments as to what this is actually doing, since this will not be an entirely trivial procedure. So we want to say when a character is on a stationary or a moving boat, swap toggle the boat's tiles from tiles to moving or stationary. Okay, so like many if and only if clauses in mathematics, one direction of this will be trivial to write, but the other direction will be difficult. Namely, if we're on the moving boat and we want it to be stationary, we can literally just like wipe across the entire map, or at least a subset of it, and make everything frozen. Going the other way, that's going to be the hard direction. So we'll do the hard direction first. We're gonna have to do some kind of like graph search thing here. However, again, dealing with any kind of like graph data structure, especially in a low-level programming language as low-level as this, it kind of will be a pain. And so I want to do something a bit easier. Namely, we set a limit onto the sizes of the boats in this game, which, given that I'm designing it, I think is a reasonable thing to do. Like, no boats in this game are going to be like 20 tiles across or something ridiculous like that. So let's just say the boat limit is like 5. Then we basically want to search within a kind of like 9 by 9 square, which is centered at the character's position, for like possible like boat locations to like toggle on, and then we'll do the toggle logic that way. So this is 290. So to do this, we'll set a constant. Do we have some game constants here? Doesn't look like it. So we'll say absolute max boat dimension, or maybe like, yeah, maximum boat. Like, I don't want to say maximum boat width, because that would imply I also need to define something for maximum boat height, which is silly. I kind of just want to say maximum boat length. Suppose this is a bit better. And so we'll make this at most 5. And even then, actually, like in the game currently, none of the boats are larger than 3 by 3, so I could actually just leave this as a 3. We can update this as needed. I'll just try and remember this if I make some levels that do involve a boat that's larger, that this needs to be updated. And maybe later on we can make the logic a bit more general and nicer, but for the moment we'll just do the simplest thing. Because almost always in game development, doing the simplest thing is the right choice. Okay, so now we want to do, I'm going to go back to our boat movement. So yeah, so how is this going to work? So we're going to have to just determine if the character is currently on a moving boat tile to like toggle everything. So we can say if I'm gonna have to like cast this. If in the G why don't we just say like let's define a constant. Let's just say current tile is equal to the G matrix, and then we want to say the character X is the character Y position dereferenced once we cast this to a we should cast this to a N64, I guess. Something that's unsigned, and then cast character expose dereferenced. Okay, then we've got this tile. Now then we want to say what? Actually, given that this algorithm is going to be using the character position a lot, I feel like we should just declare this as like an easier variable. So let's instead say N64 current I want to say like toggling tile or like center tile. Center tile x is equal to this thing. And I'm almost actually tempted to start like converting the code to create a struct that represents a vector and start doing things this way. We'll add that to the to-dos. That would be a task save for next time. And it should be fairly easy to go through. It would be a bit tedious, and then we have to rewrite some of the code, but the program is less than 500 lines long, so it's okay. We can say create a vector to a data type, and rewrite code to use it to sew it. Okay. So yeah, so then we've got this. And yeah, now I can just say for this current tile, it's just center. You know, instead of calling this center, I think it should just be called like current tile. And we'll just call this position X and position Y. Current tile plus Y. Current tile plus X. Okay. So now we need to do the if stuff. So we want to say let's actually do like the easy version first. If the current tile is equal to a boat, it was boat moving tile, right? Boat so 298. Yeah. We want to like toggle the boat to not moving. Okay. And so I think the easiest way to do this is just to look in a kind of square that has like, whose like radius is the max boat length, and simply look at each of the squares, and if the tile happens to be a moving tile, toggle it to a boat not moving tile. So we should say toggle moving, rather like switch or moving tiles to not moving. Okay. So how will this work? Okay, we actually will do this later. Okay, so let's say we've done that logic. Now we want to do the case where if the current tile is instead a not moving tile. We want to toggle that to moving. Here we won't just be able to do, I was going to say we won't just be able to do 2 if statements, but we can if we just exit out the first. So if we were in this one, we can just return here, and then I can do the other case. I can say if the current tile is the boat not moving tile, then we need to toggle this, and this is the hard one. Okay, if we happen to press the space bar and it's neither of these, we just like return because we're not doing anything. Okay. So I want to just try and compile this now. It really shouldn't be doing anything, but we'll see. We'll just make sure it doesn't crash. Okay, good thing I actually started to compile this, even though we have a skeleton of a function. Type mismatch in assignment. Left is N8 and the right is at N8. Alright, because I forgot to dereference that part. 295. Since G matrix is a global. Okay, let's try and compile it again. Oh, yeah, semicolons missing, line 301. Yeah, we want refer, and refer. Okay, and let's check it doesn't crash. Okay, so yeah, so when I press spacebar, it's still doing like that kind of change, but that's fine. And yeah, nothing happening when we're on the boat. No crashes, that's good. Okay. Let's continue with the logic. So what we want to do is we want to toggle all of the or rather, like, yeah, make the tiles of the current boat moving. So we want to do a dumb loop, and where we're going to iterate over this square that is kind of centered at the current tile. So I think we can use a similar, kind of the similar code that we did in down here. So yeah, so here we're gonna have to be a bit careful. Since this square is not always going to fit completely inside the game matrix. For example, if the character is on the very edge of the screen. So if we just said like iterate from the current tile minus the maximum boat width to, you know, current tile x, position x plus the maximum boat width, we may get like an array out of bounds error, which is not acceptable. So we first of all need to calculate what the bounds of the box are, what the bounds of the rectangle calculate yeah, we can say calculate the bounds of the rectangle that contains the boat. So to do this, we just want to take some like maximums and minimums of various, like the current tile position x and stuff. So we could say I guess everything should be unsigned, so we could say unsigned rectangle like rectangle y start, or like rectangle, not height, but like maybe just the rectangle top left corner and then the bottom right corner. So you can see the rectangle top left corner position x is something. And then likewise we'll do the rectangle top left y position is something. And then the I kind of wanted, for the loop itself, it would be actually it's okay. I think it's conceptually easier to think about for me this rectangle just in terms of these coordinates than like one coordinate and widths, which is what like Raylib and other stuff does. Okay. So I have the bottom right position here. Okay. So let's do something a bit crude to begin with, which is actually I was going to say not calculate these and just get like the logic working, but it's not too hard. We can do both at the same time. So we want to say if this was Zig, what I would want to say is the following. I want to say the maximum of 0 and the current tile the current x position of the tile minus the boat width, the max boat length. But since this programming language is not Zig, I can't just use a compiler thing like this. So I think we can just do this with a really easy if condition. We can just set it to be this thing, and then if it's negative, we'll set it to be 0. And we'll actually we can set both to be 0 and like different things. So we can say if this is less than 0, simply set it to be 0. There is, there's a smart way of doing this. See, like Hacker's Delight. I just want to do the dumb way for now. Actually, we'll put it up here. We'll put it on one line. Okay, and then likewise, I want to do something similar for the y. Okay, and then likewise, yeah, the y here would just be the current tile plus y minus the boat length. Okay. Now to do the bottom right corner. This should just like, it's basically the same calculation. Just copy all of this, paste it here. And now here we need to use a like game global thing. Instead of 0 here, it's like the G matrix, like the like the height of the G matrix. So yeah, I don't think this will work, but we can look up what this is meant to be. And so here we just want to increase the rectangle by that. So actually, there's kind of no need to go all the way to the maximum boat length, since like if the boat length is maximum is 3, then we're essentially like saying a boat length could have something equal to 4. So we do want to subtract 1 from this. Likewise here. Okay, and then yeah, let's look up what this is meant to be. So we'll determine this from the this stuff down here. But I could have sworn we made G matrix a global last time. Where are our globals? Yeah. So the compiler, I think Sam at some stage on stream said if I defined like an absolute variable and then used it in this type declaration, the compiler will say no, that's not allowed. So it may just be better to Yeah, just define some constants now that say like maximum, let's say like G matrix width and G matrix height, and we'll try and remember to update them. It would be nice though to like, I kind of want to say just like take the length of this G matrix and get 12, and then say take the length of like the first entry and get 48. I'm not actually sure what would happen. Let's just test this out. So we'll, since we're not using these at the moment, I can just, I'll just make both of these 0, but this is very much like a temp thing. And we want to just print out, we'll do a debug statement here. How do we print out stuff again? Good thing I copied this from last time. Suspected I'd be using it again. So here I wanted to say G matrix width and height. And here let's say G matrix dot, I think it's M, and then G matrix 0 dot M. I'm curious to see if these will work. Okay, let's not do these for loops for now. This one is a bit wrong. Okay. Yeah, let's try and compile this. And then pressing spacebar should result in debug message. I'm gonna be back. Okay. Alright, this did compile. Great. Okay, so say I go to the boat. I should really like reset the character position so that it is on the boat for testing, and I press spacebar 3 times. yeah, we did get. Yeah, okay. We can determine the width and the height this way. Excellent. This is what I want. Oh yeah, progress is kind of happening. Yeah, thanks for dropping by again, Wizard Santo. Yeah, I'm currently doing the boat movement code, and yeah, I was just checking that we can get the dimensions of any given matrix type in the intuitive way, and we can. Yeah, so here, when we're calculating the bottom right corner of the rectangle to check, if the rectangle X position is greater than or equal to the G matrix length, then we want to set that to the kind of maximum, which is the length minus 1. 0 minus 1. No, G matrix M minus 1. And then it's basically the same logic for here. If the position is Y, if it's greater than or equal to the maximum width here, set it equal to that minus 1. Okay, let me make it like that. Okay. I kind of want to just print out for now in debug what these dimensions of the rectangle are. So let's just say bounding rectangle dimensions. Since my programmer sense is telling me this is an easy place for bugs to appear, and the easiest way to identify them, it's better to identify them early, and the easiest way to identify them is just by printing out what everything is. So here we want to say rectangle GL plus X. I really need to implement a vector type next time, or maybe even now. This is kind of, we'll do it next time. It's getting a bit tedious. Okay, and I just want to check this stuff is working. So yeah, let's just try and compile this. And we'll check what it is for the 2x2 boat. Okay, what should it be for the 2x2 boat? So yeah, I'll have to see where the boat is positioned again, but we can figure it out. Okay, so here is, what are the coordinates of the top of the boat, of the top left corner? This is going to be, the y coordinate will be 0, 1, 2, 3, and the x coordinate will be 32 plus 1, 2, 3, 35. So this is 35 3. And so when we do the bounding rectangle thing, since the boat has a width of 3, I would expect the top left corner to be 33,1, and then the bottom right should be like plus let's see, that's when I say like plus 7, okay. So yeah, press spacebar several times, and I'm expecting 33, 1. Okay. Good thing I printed out these, since one of them is clearly wrong. So we are getting the 31, which is as expected, and then an error, and then 37. Is that what I expect? I was kind of, I wasn't expecting. Okay, let's just go back. See, the 31 is correct. The second argument is wrong. Let's just fix this second argument. My housemate is having fun. So yeah, when we're printing out the top left pos y, this is getting screwed. Yeah, why is this misbehaving? Because we're setting it down here. I see. Typical copy pasta mistake. So yeah, this is just setting bottom right stuff, which is what we want. Okay, let's try and compile this again. Okay, yeah. So if the x position of the top left of the tile that we were on is 33, I'm expecting the coordinates to go from 31 to 35. So I don't know why the 37 is so high. I should just change the coordinates. Okay, and then yeah. Oh, it's still what? Why is it doing this? What is going on? So okay, so they were saying 31 to 37, something went to 5. So yeah. Oh, maybe... Oh, I see. So I think it's because some overflow is happening. In that, yeah, I'm defining these things to be unsigned, but then I'm immediately saying they can be less than 0, which is absurd. So we should make both of these signed, and then will this require us to do casting? Probably. It will make the code clearer anyway. So let's just cast each of the current positions that are unsigned to these things. Okay, and now we can honestly compare these and say these are negative, do stuff. And then okay, this still doesn't account for like the 30. Like, yeah, the big number is absolutely coming from overflow, but I'm not sure why the search is happening that much. Yeah, so we're saying here the maximum boat length is 3. So we should really only be going back like 2. Maybe I just miscounted where the character is in that square. We can set that in the beginning of new main. So currently I'm saying, where's the main character? So we want to move them here. So 1, 2, y coordinate of 3, and then 32. 3. Okay. Let's try compiling this. Now 2 p.m. Okay. Let's check this out. Yeah, so this is the correct position. And then we do spacebar. 31 0 37 5. So why is it searching so high? So it's going to 5. Like, what? Why? Oh, could it be an order of operations thing? Like if I'm subtracting the level width and then I'm subtracting 1, it's like doing the 1. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Okay. It's because I didn't put parentheses in correct places. Oops. So yeah, we want to do... Okay, and now I'm really happy we're not doing like graph searching and stuff. It's already complicated enough when we're literally just defining a rectangle. Okay. So now let's just check it again. I want some snacks. Yeah, so if we're at y position 3, x coordinate 36, so it should be 34 to 38. No, why is it 33 to 37? Okay, it's 1 to 5, which is expected. Am I not counting correctly? 32, 33, 34. Oh, we're at 35, yeah. So if we're at 35, it should be 33 to 37, which it is. Okay. This is working, which is good. Also, nothing should happen if I like press space here. Yeah, but it's not. Okay. My intuition that there were going to be problems was correct, and we've now fixed them. So now let's continue with the setting stuff. So now we need to do the scary looping code. And we'll continue to print this. So we want to say, this is saying temp. I guess we have corrected it. So yeah, okay. So now for the actual loop, we want to. I'm gonna do something extremely crude at the beginning. Make this massive temp. This is just truly to check that some of the previous stuff we did with the color switching and everything is working. Let's just iterate through this rectangle and switch every single boat tile that's not moving to moving. Like, that's all it should be doing. And then if that works, we'll then do the logic for this, which the logic for this kind of requires these rectangle calculations. Okay, we'll move the code in appropriate places. Yeah, and then when we've got this working with the really temporary crude version, then we'll do the actual proper expanding the loop graph expansion loop code stuff. But currently, let's just iterate from I equals the let's actually just cast a bunch of these things first. We want to say we want to say I here is equal to cast the rectangle. Actually, maybe there's no need to cast these. So yeah, while I is equal to, we want to start off at the rectangle top left position. Wait, if I here is going to be, if we're going to be calling this with I and then j, I is actually the y position. So yeah, rectangle, at top left, pos y. We're starting there here, and we're going until we reach the rectangle bottom left y position. And actually we want to keep going while it's less than or equal to. Then over here we want to do when j is ranging from the rectangle top left position x, and it's less than or equal to the rectangle bottom left position x. Let's do the actual, like, the code that's happening. We now want to say see the we just want to say tile is equal to the G matrix at those positions. Why is my door banging? This is really annoying. Hopefully with the window closed it will not be an issue. Okay, so we've got the tile at this given position, and then we want to say if, or rather C tile boat not moving tile, we want to switch it to a moving tile. We want to say a G matrix, yeah, I j is equal to boat moving tile. Okay, so this is the really crude, completely incorrect but temporary code that should switch the boat to the moving boat. Like, we do need to we will have to massively replace this, because, you know, what's the problem with this? The problem is that if there's more than one boat in, you know, if this boat happens to be adjacent to another boat, it's going to like convert both of them to moving, which is not meant to happen. Yeah, this is like, there's like a game design choice to make as to whether the boats in this, like how the boats in this game interact. But the way I'm thinking about it is that each boat should be its like discrete thing, and yeah, that just makes, like, that gives me a lot more flexibility with regards to the puzzles, and it's easy to program. So okay, I want to read over this one more time before I try and compile it. Good thing I did. I forgot to dereference this. Okay. Haha, one dereference bug caught before compiling. I am improving. Okay, let us compile this, try and compile this again. Why is this in a different screen? Yeah, it says no program running, but something kind of is. Let's just quit that. Oh, is this like a window manager bug? In either case, we'll compile it. Okay, Nasir aliquad rectangle BL pos y appellator 325. Okay. And what? Oh yeah, it's not bottom left, it's bottom right. Oops. Yeah, we're just going from top left to bottom right, top left to bottom right. Okay. Compile again, please. Oh, casting is required. .325 is unable to reconcile an S64 and an N64. Okay. I cannot wait until the new version of this operating system where the text editor can be in its own pane. There will be no need to switch between them anymore. It's compiler on the left screen, code on the right. Development will be so much faster. Okay, so we want to do what's happening here. So yeah, so it's saying that I've declared the rectangle pos y to be unsigned, which I have. Okay. So yeah, let's save that. Compile. Again. Oh, this programming language is if you write careless code, it says not acceptable. Because of course I forgot to cast these as well. Oops. Like at the very, like these things should be positive, which is why I like casted them from signed to positive at the very beginning. But now I'm wondering. I do kind of want to cast them back. It's just that would require like writing even more variables. That We'll just continue the casting. We're gonna rewrite this when we do like the vector type stuff anyway, so okay, but if we're doing like the vector types, we'll kind of have to like potentially cast like signed things to unsigned things, which could be really nasty. We'll continue to this actually feels unnecessary. Yeah, let's just stop the casting. Make everything signed. Everything signed except the tiles. Okay. What? Peregrina. Oh, there must be a semicolon or a parenthesis somewhere. There shouldn't be. Since we haven't updated that line at all. Okay. 3, 4, 3. Yeah, before there's something wrong. Oh, what did I just do? Did I spawn a new? Oh, I moved this window to something else. Oh, I don't. I kind of don't like that. So yeah, what's happening with these parentheses? So okay, this one should be, that's for this. This is for the J loop. Okay. I see the problem. Okay, so we've got that here. We shouldn't be returning from the function here. And then that's for the outside dumb loop. But then we need another parentheses, since this is the boat, we're on the boat moving tile logic. Then after that we want to quit. Okay. So now we've got a 2, and we need to compile this again. So we're going to our Sokoban and CLB, the codecs. Then we want to compile sokoban.lbc, and then we want to write the result to productor Sokoban.pb. What does it mean? Oh, I didn't put in parentheses? Oh, interesting. Okay. How long have we been going? Doesn't OBS track this? Where's the number that tells me how long I've been going? I don't see it. Oh, I see. Windows was just blocking it. 1 hour, 20 minutes. Okay. Lots of time remaining. So we want to do productor Sokoban. Okay, now we can just test it. So when I press space, haha, it switches color. Excellent, just like what we wanted. Oh, but now I can't move onto it, which shouldn't be a problem since we shouldn't actually be able to move on to like moving stuff in the game. That would be a bug, but happy to see that it is, yeah, that it's working. Okay, so now we want to write the code that will toggle everything off. Then we need to fix the completely incorrect logic here. So, while the boat is not moving, we want to switch everything to this. Okay. So yeah, we should do these calculations. There's kind of no need to do these calculations if the tile directly underneath, you know, if we're going to be doing this, if we're going to be doing the exit. So just for like some, again, it's maybe it's like unnecessary like optimization. Let's just immediately quit if the current tile is not a boat moving tile, or the current tile is not boat not moving tile. So in either of these cases, just immediately exit the function. Oh, hang on, I think, let's see. Yeah, it should be, like, we want to do something if it's a boat tile, which means it's or the both of them. So if it's not that, it needs to be not and. So yeah, if it's not a moving tile and it's not that, exit. Okay, then in such a case, we will need to do the logic. So then let's move all of this calculation up. Is there like a way of... I miss Emacs. I miss Emacs. but everything, I mean, making everything from scratch, you cannot do everything at once. Okay. So we've done all of these things, and now we can use these rectangle coordinates in both calculations. Let's copy the debug message too. Okay, now let's finally do this. So we want to switch everything to non-moving. So we want to do a similar, like basically the exact same for loop, except now, how much do I want to copy? Down to here. I want to just, this is like the easy side of the if and only if statement. We just set everything. We just say if it's equal to if it is a moving tile, switch it to not moving. No, that's all it is. Okay. And then once we've done those loops, exit. Let's compile. Then we can test it out. Oh, I only have 5% battery on my streaming screen. Okay, I'm going to use my phone for Twitch chat. Let's see if it actually works. I've seen other streamers do this, but I've never done it myself. I think I want to do Stream Manager, skip tutorial. It's like the way it like it's, which is annoying. Okay, now it's, I can now see the chat. Okay. Let me charge my iPad. Okay, back to programming. So, yeah, we wanted to. Oh, okay, and we've already got an error. Another semicolon. 299. Yeah. Thanks, cooked Nick. Yeah, it's kind of working. But the soon-to-be coolest way of sending bytes will be sending bytes over the Atlantic to another Serenum. It will be so fun to potentially work on a chat message app with Sam for this computing device. It will be so cool. Okay, so it was a semicolon missing on the refer. Okay, it was up here. No, we need to compile this. This was incorrect. I think Discord absolutely has its uses, but the Discord app itself has its problems. And it would be cool to start working on a Discord replacement for this arena. Potentially. if Sam deems it priority-wise the thing to do. Okay, so now we can, we can now like toggle the boat. Great. So now the boat is, we are nearly able to get the boat moving, but we first need to do the actual correct toggling algorithm. Okay. So yeah, let's do that. And that's now let's get rid of the character like t-shirt flashing the boot color now that the boat is toggling. This was like a temp, and this was in the render character. So what does this say? Change back to defaults when doing boat logic. So yeah, we just want to get rid of that and replace these with the hat body color. Okay, and yeah, let's move the character now back to the like original first screen. Since hopefully before too long we'll actually be able to like play the first screen, which is kind of like the first level. Like it's a really easy level since it's a tutorial, but we'll be able to play it nonetheless. So we go to the main function. Where do we want to put the character? It was at 2. Now we need to deal with the temp. Here. Okay, so now like here comes the logic that when I did something similar in my main game, there was some debugging required in Zig. Not a huge lot, it kind of almost worked maybe on like the second or the third go. But okay. So what we want to do is we want to wrap both of these loops up inside another loop, and we want to we want to like find like the largest connected boat to the current boat square that we're on. So when we're iterating through this rectangle, whenever we come across a boat tile that's not moving, we want to see if it's adjacent to a boat tile that is moving. If so, make it moving, and then do some loop logic that says you need to loop over this thing again. And then eventually when we found like the maximum boat, when we loop through the entire thing, nothing will get converted. And then we'll say, well, nothing's converted, so there's no need to go through the loop again, the boat's been found and exit. So I should absolutely describe in a comment what's happening here. I feel like in computer science courses they would say like, don't do this, do like the graph algorithm, but the graph algorithm is really, in this programming language, would be complicated, and there's no performance benefit when we're just iterating over an array that's like at most 100 tiles. So we want to say, going through, we do this as like, do this as follows. Continue to continue to iterate through the tiles of the bounding rectangle, searching or like looking for tiles, for boat tiles that are not moving. If such a tile is adjacent to a moving tile, make it moving, and prepare to loop again. Loop through the rectangle again. Okay, I should like, if no tiles, if upon an iteration through the loop, no tiles have changed, the boat has been found and selected. So quit the, well, it's not selected, like the boat is being like converted to moving. So quit the loop. Okay. That's clear to me now. Hopefully it will be clear to me in the future. We'll do like a pass over all of the comments. Like we're going to do a pass over the entire code before we like release this to other Serenum users. But that's like months away. Like there's so much work is required on this game before we get there. Like hundreds, at least 100 more hours. Okay. So now we need to do this. So we need to set a variable. Let's just set it an unsigned that says loop again, and we'll make this false. But the very first thing we need to do is modify the boat not moving tile to boat moving tile underneath our feet. So we want to say wait, I'm also kind of finding it curious that the G matrix here can be looked up with I and J even when I and J are not signed, are signed. Anyway, tangent. So we want to say a G matrix, the current tile plus X, current tile plus Y, yeah, current tile plus X, no, plus Y. Current tile plus X dereferenced is equal to tile boat moving tile. Then we want to say loop again, false. And then actually we kind of want to say loop again here is true. Line 342. Is it Varus? Varus and false. Okay, and now you want to say dom loop again. Okay. Then the very first thing we want to do is set loop again to falses. And then we need to iterate over all of the squares. Should this be up here? Okay, okay, and then, yeah, then what are we doing? We're gonna say, if, so we've got this tile, and yeah, if the boat is not moving, we need, what just happened? If the boat is not moving, we need to check, check to see if it is adjacent to a boat moving tile. Okay, so yeah, so Nick's asked the question. You're past anything I did, but was any of my color pond code helpful to get you started? I want to make more sample progs for the Serenum. Yeah, I think like, yeah, in one of the first couple of streams where where I was like selecting some of the colors, yeah, that definitely helped. But from that point on, I've just been, the only resources I've needed have been either stuff that's in the Serenum documentation or stuff that wasn't, in which case I like emailed Sam and then Sam got back to me with regards to how things worked. Yeah, I could certainly think about if there was some really simple kind of utility functions that would help. Yeah, none are immediately coming to mind. Yeah, I think stuff that would help this, like things for which the size of those projects would be really quite ambitious, and something that Sam might also have different thoughts about. Yeah, so for instance, like having like syntax highlighting in this like editor would be great, but clearly like there's a lot of steps that need to be, Wi-Fi needs to be done, and then I think Sam said he even like wants to rewrite the editor, so there's that. With like debugging, having some kind of tool to help with that would be, I mean, I would scrape by without it, but that would be really helpful. But then like, the need for like such a debugger is, like in some sense, like you could have like an incredible, like a compiler that's so good that the compiler itself is almost like a debugger, like, but that's a different thing. Yeah, I think I'm pretty, I feel like I'm okay now. I think Sam in one of his YouTube videos mentioned like even like having some like notes app could be useful. Like it's something that I probably wouldn't use myself, since like for me like this list of like things to do at the top of this single file is fine, but I could certainly see for some other people having like being able to like have one of the window managers have like a list of things to work on could be helpful. But yeah, those are some of my like immediate thoughts. But I'll certainly like keep this in mind, and if there is like a legitimate programming like blocker that comes up, and I'm like, this kind of something here isn't tedious, something here sucks, but you know, there could be a solution by some nice app, I'll definitely like ping you in the Discord and let you know. But I haven't come up to anything like that just yet. Okay. So we want to check if this tile is adjacent to a boat moving tile, and again with like the bounding box thing, we might need to be careful. So we just want to check like the 4 compass directions, and how to deal with possible array out of bound error checking. Like the sensible thing to do is actually just like to wrap the entire game matrix with some like buffer, so that you can just like with like a debug squares, debug tiles, and then if it's a debug tile, who cares? I kind of want to do that actually. But it feels like it's a rabbit hole. And it would require like making slight tweaks to like the render code and all the other code in the game. Which one? Maybe for now I just like gobble up the cost by having to like write more code, but we'll see. Nick notes. Yeah, it would be clearer if, like later on the device, there's the use case other than like building things for the device. Yeah, totally. Well, there's so much core like software to be written. That's kind of where the priorities are. But okay. Oh wait. So yeah, thanks for this hint. So you're saying. Yeah, CJ is less than tiles and -1. Like, Yeah, like I think I kind of just have to repeat a lot of the logic for this like bounding code up here. Or I can just have like 4 of these like C statements, and only bother to actually check it if things are satisfied. Okay, let's do that. So we want to check. I have to check like kind of like the north tile. Edward Norton, north, south, east, and west. Okay, so we want to say C. If the G matrix was rather, okay, let's see, if we're going north, the issue is that the I minus 1 may be less than 0. So provided I minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, we do the thing. And then if it's south, we want to do if I plus 1 is less than or equal to the G matrix dot M, and then the stuff. Okay, and then the east is going to be let's see now we want to do the J. So now if the J minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, greater than or equal to 0, do the thing. And then finally, if the J plus 1 is less than or equal to, say, G matrix 0 dot M, do the thing. Okay, so lots of if conditions, not great, but it's a small region. It's like 100 tiles at most. It's even less than that in our case. If it's like, yeah, it's like 25 tiles currently at most. So and even then, like, we're only activating these if we actually get a boat not moving tile, so it's fine. So yeah, so yeah, if this is the case, we want to check to see if I can write a bunch of code here, but I dislike the idea that I'll basically be copy and pasting it into all of these other 4 ones. I kind of like, want to have some way of just like detecting what all of them are, what all the tiles to like check are, and then just like running through them all. Actually, like, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay like this. Like, I could set up a variable here that is just like for like booleans, and literally like, instead of saying like having if conditions, we just set these booleans, and then we just go through them one at a time. Actually, I like the idea of this more. Let's do this. So let's do, now we have to like define some array types. Okay, we're on 357. How did we do this for the G matrix itself? Okay. So we want to say, we just want we want this to be a tiles within, or like tiles in G matrix. Or maybe if I just call this like bool array, like yeah, maybe tiles in G. We'll call it bool array, and we'll just move on. Can I just declare something like this in this programming language without assigning it a variable? Okay. Yeah, like Sam has also noted. Nick has noted. You can do overflow checks in line, but maybe you want to do the buffer thing for speed to skip those branches. Yeah. I think as well, it just means that I reduce the risk of like copy path to bugs by copying a lot of code. I just run the same code for like every possible thing. Okay, so now I want to say this bool array has 0, or the first is going to be north, and that's literally just equal to the result of this operation. And then likewise bool array 1 is equal to this thing. And then bool array 2. Yeah, I suggest maybe considering putting this into a common procedure. I kind of could do that, but that feels like maybe a bit too complicated. Like for now, I'm happy with this kind of setup. And this way as well, like the number of risk v instructions for this is like way less than what it was before, since we're just, again, like not like it's, in terms of performance, this isn't like the bottleneck. The bottleneck is absolutely like the graphics processing stuff, but it's still nice to know that like feasibly I could like read the assembly instructions of this and understand what's going on. But with the other one, it would be more confusing. Okay. But yeah, let me comment here that we have north, north, south. Oh, we're doing like north, south, west, east here. I guess that's fine. Yeah, so now we want to just say, we want to loop through these now. So we want to say for, call it k equals 0, going to, well, k is less than 4. We want to each time increase k by 1. Okay, it says maybe, okay, yeah. Do this, and then now we need to actually do like the check. So we have to say, if it's the case that the bool array okay. If this is true, we now need to do the check. So we want to say if the oh, I kind of see like I was just thinking the bool array is enough, but I guess I need to. I need to kind of remember the positions as well, which could be fine. We'll just tab 2 arrays now. We'll call it the like already this is becoming out of hand. But maybe it would have actually got this complicated regardless of whether I was splitting this stuff up or not. I kind of just want to like store like what the indices of these things should be, and this is going to be a constant. What am I talking about? Yeah, like in terms of, I just want like an array with the offsets, like the offsets required for like north, south, east, and west, which is literally just like 0 plus or minus 1, and then 1, you know, plus or minus 1 and 0. Honestly, maybe it really is easier with a bunch of just 4 if statements. Okay, so maybe we have if statement. Okay, maybe instead of a bool array here, we actually just make this a like tile array, and we'll make all of them like debug tiles to begin with, and then we'll simply like fill them up with the correct things, and then we just want to go through the list once and see if like in the G matrix, at least one thing in the list is a moving tile, and if so, we do the logic. Okay, so now we want to say so yeah, we want to say if this is the case, like read what it is and store it in the tile array. So we can say I want to like initialize this tile array with the debugs though. Yeah, so like we say dom na. Right, it should be initialized with like zeros anyway. In our enum is 0 the debug tile. Okay, it already is, so it's already a debug tile, so that's fine. No need to do that. Where were we? 340 something. Okay. So yeah, simply if that's available, just store what tile is there in like in this thing. So G matrix. I I minus 1 j dereference, and store this in the first position in the tile array. Then if when we look south, things went onto the border, fill up the first entry with the thing, +1. Okay, finally, like, yeah, I feel like I figured out the option that I'm at peace with for now. Tile array. Yeah, like the way to avoid this would just be to add like a debug tog buffer to the entire map, and then we could just look in directions and not worry about if there will be an out of bound error. But for now, we'll do this. I dereference this, and then finally, if when we look west, east, things are fine. Fill up that with I and j +1. Yeah, okay. So I started the stream by saying I wanted to do like the movement today. I don't think there's going to be time for that. There will at least be time to correct through the correct version of this. Okay, so now we've filled up the tile array with the correct things, I think. We can now loop through this. So now we want to say for everything in, as we loop through this, if it's the case that the tile array entry is equal to a boat moving tile, then things are great. We've like, in that iteration, we found like more of the boat to expand to. So change that. Oh no, we need to change like the tile, and but we've forgotten the coordinates. This is a pain. This is like a miniature pain. I'm like so tempted to just do like the debug buffer, but I don't think there's going to be, that's just going to like, I don't think there'll be time for that. And I do want to get something working at the end of today. Like, okay, if this was Zig or Odin, I would really easy, like, I'd like super, like, within less than a minute define two like constant arrays and just do stuff with that. I'm not even sure how to define constant arrays in this language. Like, if the language will even let me do that. Like, I can make constant numbers, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know if it will allow me to do something else. Actually, wait. I think I'm like overthinking this, and this is unnecessary. Yeah. Okay. Like false alarm. It's actually totally fine if one of the adjacent tiles is a moving tile. Like yeah, we obviously don't need to update it. That extra tile, it's fine. We want to just update the current one, and we know the current one. So we just want to say, okay, it's clearly too hot in here. The window is now open. This is embarrassing. Okay. So yeah, now we just set the actual current tile to a boat moving tile. And then okay, yeah, this is what was in my head, and then I forgot it. I somehow erased it. And then we want to set the like the big looping variable to true. Loop again is versus. Loop again. Wait, it's not versus, is it? It's just, is it varus? What's the Latin word for it? Is varus. True. So yeah, that's true. And then I think at this stage, do I want to break from this loop or do something? I don't think so. Yeah, I think this should be fine. And I say that now. The compiler will be the judge of that. Okay, yeah, so then we set it, then we loop again. Oh, we can kind of break from this loop inside here though. But the loop only has 4 elements or whatever. And wait, can Brevis even support this? Like, in Brevis, are you allowed to tag different loop, you know, stages of, like, if you have loops within loops within loops, you can like tag some stage and then say break at this particular point. I'm forgetting. I feel like in some tutorial I saw that this was the case. Let me just jump on the internet. Why is this not like? Why is Twitch showing something weird? This is like. Why is OBS acting this way? Anyway, okay, well, like whatever. We'll just continue through this. Okay, but yeah, we're so close to being done. Okay. So even if that's like the case, whatever, we won't break out from there. Actually, add that to the to-do. Check to see if loops can be exited kind of prematurely in like Brevis, like yeah, without like exiting like the top level loop. Something to investigate later. Oh yeah, so Nick has noted, yeah, probably not. There is a break keyword, but not like the Odin J where you can break a specific thing. Yeah, okay. I've seen some like videos about Jai, but I'm not on the secret beta, so I don't have access to it. Like, I would be curious in trying it out, but alas, no keys are coming my way yet. But besides, I have to get this game done anyway. So I want to do. So yeah. So So this particular one here we can get rid of. And now we just want to say, if we're within that, set that to a boat moving tile and loop again. And then, okay, just in case, actually, what is the time? 3. Okay, so just in case, like, I have set up some like infinite loop in here, I kind of should have some counter that is just checking this thing out. So like in particular, this loop shouldn't do more than like 100 or like 50 times. And if we get to that, I think we want to just like break immediately and print like an error message saying, hey, like the loop is being exceeded. So let's say like loop limit 0 to, we'll say like 100, and we'll say this is like we can make it a bit more conservative, like 50, just to catch errors. And then where's like the outer? This should be out here. So you set the initial initial tile. Okay. So yeah, so then while we're each time we loop through this, we want to preladder the loop limit +1, and then I need to put semicolons in this, I think. Yep. And then maybe the very first thing we check is just, has this been exceeded? No, I'm being really silly. It should be like a loop counter. We'll make this like 0, and let's make this just like a single byte, and then we want to say like loop limit. I'll make this 50. Okay, so we increase the loop counter, and then if the loop counter is greater than the loop limit, then we just want to break immediately. So we want to say, oh, how do we break from all of these loops? What is the syntax? It's not, we don't want to like, maybe we do kind of just want to return. We'll just like return from the entire function procedure, but not without printing an error. Okay, instead of printing an error, we say this thing, generate. I'm going to say error, come on, error, yeah, like boat selection loop limit exceeded. Okay. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so we do all of that. So yeah, if something goes wrong, this should alert us that something's going wrong. And then otherwise, I feel like things are okay. So let's see. So yeah, if the tile is a bow not moving tile, we then run this logic and then say is if the one adjacent is a moving tile, make this particular tile moving as well, and then try and loop again. Okay, so then here, once we've done both of these outer loops, we want to now, actually we can just, this is the point at which we decide whether to loop again or not, I think. So now we need to say, if, if loop again is equal to, is not true, then we want to break. So we want to now say, actually no, this is fine. It should automatically, leave, since we are, the outer dumb loop is simply saying, is this thing loop again? Okay, I think we should be fine. Okay, let's prepare ourselves for some compiler fun. Okay. Tokenizer does not support this input, prolata. I think I know why. I forgot the macrons. Hopefully the French electorate will forget Macron. So we want to do I think, yeah, there should be macrons on the A's and the O's. Save. Compile again. Oh, this is not, no, stop. Switch. We're compiling here, thank you very much. Once again, semicolon 355. So yeah, I want to do a scriptor m codex Sokoban. .355. Save. Silly me. Compile. Necessio aliquot loop limit appellator. Okay. And I think once this starts compiling, I'm kind of, regardless of whether or not it works, we'll end the stream since things to be done. And then if there's any bugs, we'll figure them out next time. Okay, so loop counter. It said like it didn't know. Oh, wait, what? How does it not know what these things are? Did I not just define them up here? Oh, I said loop limit. Oh, 359. Okay. Why is this down here? That shouldn't be there. I kind of just want to read through all of this again. So yeah, so we have loop again versus loop counter 0, the loop limit's 8. While looping again, increase the loop counter by 1. If the loop counter is greater than loop limit, like print an error message and exit the function immediately. The procedure immediately. Otherwise, set looping into false. And then while we're going through the rectangle, get the tile, do it's not moving, and if one of the adjacent tiles is a boat moving tile, set the original one to that and then loop again. Okay. Oh, expected. Oh, there's no semicolon after that part. 377. Okay, so 377. Wait, what? Oh, okay, where do the semicolons go in the loop statements in this language? There's not one before the parentheses. Okay, so in 377, we don't want one there, we don't want one there, and there, or there either. Okay. That one's fine. Compile. Oh, it looks like it might actually work this time. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it hasn't crashed, which is good. Haha, and I press tab and we toggle the boat on and off. Okay, great. Yeah, so the actual way to check this is working properly would be to add an adjacent boat that's diagonal. So that's really easy to do. So let's actually just test that now. Oh, why did I? Okay. Yeah. So let's go back into the level file and add in a diagonal boat and check that it doesn't get turned into boat. Where's the string data? Here it is. So yeah, let's add in like a boat here. Boat. That should be enough. Save. And then actually, yeah. We'll save it. Let's compile this. Yeah, and then if when we select this boat, the diagonal one is not selected, I will call that a day. And then a bit later, maybe tomorrow, perhaps the day after, we'll actually get the boat movement logic working. And then we can start piloting these boats. And yeah. And then before we know it, we will have several levels in the game. Okay, so now when I toggle this, haha, the other boat is not toggled. Great. So yeah, I'm going to call it, actually, before we do this, I might, it's fine. I was going to say I might turn off the debug message of the bounding rectangle, but I think we'll need that next time. Okay, so we'll quit this, go to here, we have saved this. So yeah, we'll quit this, and then I'll make like a backup, backup of the progress we did today. If OBS will allow me to even switch. Okay, so this is now fine. So let's pull the power. And it's weird, like why isn't OBS like showing the, it's doing something weird. It's not actually showing OBS now, like it used to. Anyway. Let's make a backup. Do like what's okay? Now it's working again. Okay. Serenum backups. Okay, let's just do. Let's see, it's the 30th today. Yeah, the only thing we actually need to copy is this. Okay. Okay. So yeah, thanks everyone. Stop by and said hi, especially Nick. Yeah, hope the rest of your coding days go well. And yeah, I will continue more Serenum programming in the near future. But I have an apartment to move to first. So, okay. Take care, everyone. Bye.